Hey guys, it's KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever channel on YouTube, and I've got another one of those weird stories in the news that I really wanted to share. Morgan Freeman's stepdaughter stabbed to death in Exorcism. This just happened today, August 16th. Morgan Freeman's step-granddaughter was stabbed to death by her crazed boyfriend as he appeared to be trying to perform an exorcism on her on a Manhattan sidewalk early Sunday, law enforcement sources and a witness said. "Get out, devils! I cast you out, devils! In the name of Jesus Christ, I cast you out!" the suspect screamed, according to George Hidako, 65, who witnessed the attack from his window in Washington Heights and called 911. "The girl was making a lot of noise, screaming," Hidako said of victim Edena Hines, 33. I'm going to stop there just for a second. And just the fact this is Morgan Freeman and he's really high up in the Hollywood system, immediately a lot of us are going to start thinking, could this be some kind of an Illuminati connection? That's the first thing I thought when I saw the headline. And then as I started reading the story, I saw the number 33. So for those of you who don't know, the numbers 11, 22, and 33 are highly significant occult numbers, specifically with the Illuminati. I've covered that a lot on the channel. Other people have covered that stuff as well. But it's also interesting because we also find a lot of mysterious deaths and strange deaths surrounding a lot of the celebrities. And usually it's people that they're related to. So I'm not saying that this isn't exactly an Illuminati sacrifice or whatever, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, this is certainly one of those that we're going to want to watch and see how it develops. I'll continue reading. It says, "I saw something sparkly going up and down. I called 911. I was begging them to come." Hines, whose grandmother, Jeanette Adair Bradshaw, was Freeman's first wife, was stabbed in front of West 162nd Street near St. Nicholas Avenue just before 3 a.m., cops said. Her live-in boyfriend continued stabbing her even after her body went lifeless and was still screaming incoherently over her when police arrived at the bloody scene. Freeman issued a sorrowful public statement within hours of the attack saying, "The world will never know her artistry and talent and how much she had to offer. Her friends and family were fortunate enough to have known what she meant as a person. Her star will continue to shine bright in our hearts, thoughts, and prayers. May she rest in peace." So although Hines and Freeman, 78, were not related by blood, the actor adopted her mother and was so close to Hines that she sometimes joined him on the red carpet to movie premieres and award shows as his plus one. That's the victim there. In 2012, Freeman had to publicly squash false reports that they were romantically involved, and I remember those stories coming out too. Hines, who is also an actor, was pronounced dead at Harlem Hospital. She played Beneatha in A Raisin in the Sun on Broadway and was a founding member of the youth empowerment and writers organization Sunedna, according to its website. She had recently moved into an apartment with her alleged killer on West 162nd Street, a few buildings from where she was slain, neighbors said. Next-door neighbor Ben, 50, who declined to give his last name, said Hines was friendly and kept very busy. "We knew she was an actress. She was always on the move, always moving, going to auditions," he said. 2 weeks ago, Hines finished filming Landing Up, a feature film about two young homeless women surviving on the streets of New York. Its director, Daniel Tenenbaum, told the Post, "We're devastated. She was an amazing, incredible, loving human being," Tenenbaum said. "She is one of the souls of the movie," the director grieved. "She really touched every single person on set, crew and cast, and was such a vivid part of this whole experience. She was here. She was in our office a couple days ago, and we sat and talked and filmed her." Her boyfriend was arrested and taken to Columbia Presbyterian Hospital for a psychiatric evaluation, officials said. It's unclear why the man snapped. So there's that. Morgan Freeman's step-granddaughter stabbed to death in Exorcism, and there have been rumors that they were actually in an affair or in a relationship, and this came out a few years ago. So it's interesting, if you look it up on celebrities that have died at the age of 33 or people that related to celebrities died at the age of 33, you find a lot of them. Anyway, here's an article I wanted to share with you, and this is from the Telegraph. I thought this was pretty interesting. The age of 33 is dangerous for entertainers, as the case of Stephen Gately shows. I'm going to read some of this article here, but Stephen Gately is another case you can look into. So I'm going to show you this real quick, and this is just a good example of oftentimes you'll find someone dying at the age of 33, a celebrity, When you do a little research, you'll find that there's all these Illuminati connections, right? Anyway, this is from Pseudo Occult Media. I'll just scroll down. This is an older story. This is back in October of 2009. But this has to do with Stephen Gately. Here's the story. It says Stephen Gately feels the devil's curse at 33. I'll leave a link to this story, or this page here, underneath the video so you can check the whole thing out. It's very interesting. These guys really put the work in on this one. But you can see just from some of the images we're seeing here that there's Stephen Gately right there in the movie Credo. Start finding all this stuff, more of the satanic type connections to this stuff, right? And then there's more and more and more as you go down. He's done some music videos with Illuminati symbols in them. He was in a band called, I guess it was a band or a show called Boyzone. So even with that, there's a lot of interesting symbolism. You can see it right there in the middle, the black and the white, the duality split right there, right? And here's more that's pretty obvious. There's another one from Stephen Gately. So yeah, you can check this out sometime. Right there he's playing the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is a representative of the pedophile rings, of course, of the elite. One of the child catchers for the elite. Using Godspell, Illuminati symbolism there. So there's that. Like I said, I'll leave the link and you can check that story out right there. I just wanted to show you that real quick with Gately, in case you're wondering who that was. And let me finish up the article over here. 33 can be a difficult year, and Stephen Gately joins a long list of entertainers who died at that age. When you hear of a 33-year-old dying suddenly, and not from a car accident, suicide, or something rare like cerebral aneurysm, it's hard to avoid jumping to the conclusion that drugs or alcohol must be involved somehow. And so it appears to have been with Stephen Gately, who died at the weekend. According to friends and police sources who spoke to The Sun, the culprit was alcohol, our favorite drug, as doctors like to call it. The Sun reports that Gately had been drinking potent cocktails and white wine in the Black Cat, a gay club in Palma, Majorca, with his civil partner Andy Cowles on Friday night. The age of 33 has special resonance, obviously because of the association with Jesus. In the 20th century, a mysterious number of entertainers also died at 33. As I was saying, you can do a little search on that. Notable instances include roly-poly funny men John Belushi and Chris Farley, Karen Carpenter, Keith Relf of the Yardbirds, and Sam Cooke. One famous rock star died at 33 from inhaling vomit. This was Ronald Belford Scott, better known as Bon Scott, lead singer and lyricist of AC/DC. In early hours of February 19, 1980, Scott passed out in a friend's car parked in Overhill Road in East Dulwich, and was pronounced dead on arrival at King's College Hospital. Anyway, that goes on with that. But yeah, I mainly just wanted to show you that right there, that once again, when you start finding the age of 33 connected with these celebrity deaths, it's really interesting when you start kind of investigating, and you'll find oftentimes that there are some kind of occult connections. And that's certainly not to say it's the case with all of them, but certainly in some, it's there. Morgan Freeman's step-granddaughter stabbed to death in New York. A lot of interesting things happening around this case. A lot of numbers that are connecting there that are interesting for many of us who study this occult type stuff. And who knows, right? And were they a couple? Were they actually a couple at one time? There's a lot of news stories out about that as well. There's a lot of speculation. Even though Morgan Freeman came out and said they weren't, he kind of has to, right? So who knows? Were they an actual couple? Was this part of some kind of an Illuminati sacrifice? Some kind of a blood ritual? Did she really have demons in her? Or could she have actually been possessed? Did this guy that was stabbing her actually see something? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows how real all of this story is? I'm not saying she didn't die. I'm believing that part of it. But who knows with all the other circumstances caught up? Who knows if the guy that allegedly killed her, if he's all part of a setup, they're putting this off on him, maybe he knows too much, who knows? A lot of times these Hollywood stories that come out in the news are very much like the Hollywood movies we've all seen. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes, right? So who knows? Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I thought it was very, very interesting, and certainly a story for us to keep our eyes on. But thanks for checking out the video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.